Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Egbert here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about how much money I made on Airbnb. That's right. And I shut it down. Why? We're going to talk about it. And welcome to Foci Optics. Check. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. And as you can see, we're on the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page as usual. And I want to thank you for being here. And please share the videos to help other people. And you notice we have a join button over here on the right that YouTube was kind enough to give us when we reached 5,000 subscribers, which is highly unusual. But if you'd like to support the channel, please join and become a member. And I send messages to the community tab. And I do 1 or 2 videos a month for members who join the channel. Now, without further ado, I know this is going to be shocking because a lot of you think it's easy to talk about making money when you're making money. Well, a lot of you have missed, because I did a video actually, and I thought I did it sooner than I realized. But there was a video that I've referenced a few times over the last 6 months or 5 months where I was talking about Airbnb business. And the reason why I did a video before was because there was this another YouTuber telling people to do certain things like getting a lease and getting an apartment, doing things like that. And then they showed their account and it was just under clarity. And then I was like, well, if you're really doing YouTube, you get W-2 forms. 1099 forms. And so that's why this video came about. And then I just realized today that it was October 19th, almost over a year ago, that I actually made the video. So there's a lot of you that doesn't even know it exists. And this is a video where I was saying how I use timeshares to make money on Airbnb. And not only Airbnb, because it's on VRBO, it's on Flipkey, HomeAway, I list on Craigslist. And so you get different avenues where people can contact you and want to rent your units. So that's what the video was about. But this is what I'm going to show you, because this is actually going to show you some revenues that I made years ago. But again, this video was done in 2019. So here's revenues from my Airbnb 1099. You'll see it's in my name, not some other account or anything like this. So I'm going to roll tape, and then I'm going to get into something else that we're talking about where I'm not taking any money from Airbnb. I actually shut it down in around March, I believe, but we're going to see the numbers so you can see I'm just like millions of other people who lost their job, let's call it. And I'm just using this as an example because you might be thinking, well, how's he still doing things? It's because what I've always been talking about. You have to figure out extra streams of income. And I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but we'll just watch this video and I'll talk over it. I'm not going to play the video, but I have to roll tape, so I'll just talk over it. You can see right here where I'm talking about, here's my 1099 from 2014. And on the screen, it appears to be gross revenues from Airbnb of $270,000. You can see that's my 1099 that they sent us here. So all I'm trying to say is, this is why you always need to have different ways to make money. And in 2016, you see here, that's a number that's over 300 grand. So in fact, that says 396. So again, these are revenues. And 2017, you see 327. So when you see 327, nearly 400, nearly 300, yeah, that's almost like $1 million in revenue. And that didn't even show you all my years. So I just wanted to show you this real quick. to let you know, yeah, it may look like Eric's always making it seem easy because he already has money, he made money, or whatever the case may be. Well, I'm going to show you something right now so we can stop all the nonsense. And here we go. This right here is this year in 2020. Booked earnings for 2020. All right. Earlier this year, January, we were kind of doing fine. At the end of January and into February, all of a sudden you heard these rumors where people were asking about, can I cancel in case I can't travel due to COVID? And that's when it was kind of getting a little more serious. And then when March came, all of a sudden they started blocking different countries could go in and out. USA could leave or come back. People from foreign countries couldn't come back out of the US, or people had to stay in the foreign country for 14 days because they came from another country, so they wouldn't be able to catch their flight coming to the U. It was all kind of crazy stuff going on. So what I decided to do in March, clearly because they were allowing people to make cancellations just for asking. So in other words, it's not good for your business if you have people that are supposed to show up and then 2 days or 1 day before they show up, they're saying they can cancel without penalty. Meanwhile, you have an obligation for the location. In my case, since I do hotels and condos, that was already prepared, which meant we had to spend a little money up front and may have to spend some money to get out of the deal because we can't just cancel last minute. So this is why I just shut it down. So I just want to show you, and it's a shutdown. There's no joke. Look, here's March, and then Airbnb, because they got some of the PPP loan money, they actually gave us, because of cancellation, so I had literally, they gave us 10%. So I generally had another $24,000 worth of cancellations in the month of April alone. So that just gives you an idea. It was March and April, I think, but it was majority of April, and they gave you like 10% of what was booked. So that's why it shows $2,400, almost $2,500 there, and then there was a little another 134 or something. But that's why there's this little change here, which was nice of them because they didn't have to do that. And you can see for the rest of the year, we've been shut down. So again, what's going to happen though is I am about to start it back up. So I'm going to start doing the calendars and setting up my Airbnb and start going from here on out. But they still have different rules in place. And this leads me to the story of how I get to being on YouTube in the first place. And I'm going to get into that because a lot of people may still be interested in the Airbnb, but the majority of this email, I just wanted to illustrate to people, this is the luxury that you have when you have extra streams of income coming in. You can determine and say, you know what, I don't even want to do that no more. And that's what I did. And I just want to prove to you guys that I'm no different than people who might have who lost their job. Because this could be my job. And if I wouldn't have had any other streams of income coming in, now where would I be? So this is why I'm telling you, and have been telling you for 2 years now, to get your extra streams of income, because you never know what's going to happen. And now I'm going to give you the story about Airbnb to begin with. In around 2016, 2017, 2015, there's HOAs, there's cities, there's countries, there's states that started outlawing Airbnb. In other words, any rental, they wouldn't let people do it. And it's for whatever reasons they wanted to do. These people are partying. These people are tearing up our grounds. Whatever they wanted to do. You're not paying your city, state, and local taxes. You're not paying occupancy tax. You're not paying hotel tax. They had all these crazy excuses why they wouldn't just allow people to rent out their rooms. So that's when I determined, roughly around 2016 or 2017, I said, you know what? I need to change up on how I'm going to do this. Now, I have other deals with rentals as well through a different source that's in the video. I'll leave a link down below to the 2019 video so you guys can see it yourself. But I have other locations that I can still do rentals. And by the way, that 1099 is just for Airbnb. That doesn't include VRBO, and it doesn't include Phoenix Vacation Homes. That doesn't include Flipkey. That doesn't include Craigslist. That doesn't include a whole bunch of other sources that I would have income coming in. And I'm not using none of them at the moment either. So that's why I had to get to this. And the story is, we're going to make this short and sweet today. The story goes, because of all this blockage by cities, states, and counties and countries, and I'll give you an example I mentioned, I think, in that video, where Whistler, Canada, which is a prime time ski area in the wintertime, all of a sudden I think it was 2018, all of a sudden they barred Airbnb rentals. I mean, totally. That even if a person owns a condo there, they're saying, no, you can't do it. The HOAs and the condo associations are all in agreement with Whistler. They're saying can't be done. So that is a problem. And so it's just one by one. You have these little barriers to entry, as I call them. And why deal with barriers to entry? And so meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, well, you know what? I've been telling my friends how I make money all the time. They never do anything. So why don't I just tell a lot more people? And that's how I started the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel. So hopefully over the last year, 2 years, you guys have seen some videos that might have helped you out, whether it had to do with making money, whether it had to do with credit, whether it had to do with setting up a t-shirt business, whether it had to do with arbitrage business, which actually I'm going to make a video about that coming up, and how you can make money with many different avenues that are available to you today. And a lot of people just figure all they want to do is work 8 to 5, 8 to 8, work those 40 to 60 to 70 hours a week, instead of saying, you know what, why don't I spend 5 or 6 hours a week on myself? And in today's environment, there's so many social media platforms out there that there's a way for anybody and everybody to at least get extra streams of income. And keep in mind, I'm going to use the term evergreen, because a lot of times what you put out today on social media, you never know who will find it maybe a month from now, or maybe 6 months from now, or maybe a year from now. So these are the kind of things that you want to do. You want to be able to have references where people come back and over again. And with the vacation rental, that's what happens. Once somebody stays at your property, they have a good experience, they usually will try to come back to you first, and then they tell their friends about it. It works the same way, just like when we're doing YouTube's social media outlets, the same thing. So I just wanted to let you know, I'm with a whole bunch of people by just shutting down, let's call it $200,000-$300,000 a year revenue business, just because I wanted to. So, but I'm starting it back up because it looks like the COVID's going to be a thing, and why not? It's at my disposal. It's easy to do. Airbnb's doing all the heavy lifting. Flipkey, they're doing all the heavy lifting. I don't have to do anything. They're the ones advertising. So I might as well get it back up, because we're going to have ski season coming up. There's people that's already been hitting me up. I've actually turned down, I believe, 4 or 5 people for ski season already, because I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it, because I don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. And like I said, you're at the mercy of, they can just cancel anytime. And I don't want to be putting up reservations and then canceling and turning down other people because it's booked. So that's how it works. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the story time. There'll be a link down below for the Airbnb video that I did over a year ago, and you can actually see the 1099s, and I might even have had a couple more in there as well. I can't remember. I think I only had 3, but for some reason in my head I thought I had 2013 in there, but guess I didn't. So anyhow, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. That's why I'm doing what you should be doing. Whenever I talk about sign up for Robinhood and Webull, there'll be a link down below to get your free share of stock. You get your free share of stock by verifying. Then you share your link with other people, family, friends, and you become a referral marketer, and you make money. The same rules apply with Canva, with Fiverr. I'm giving you a bunch of places and a bunch of ways to make extra income. And even if you get a check for 50 bucks, that's still better than something you didn't have before, even if it's 200 bucks. That's all you need. Don't worry about what anybody has to say. Just get to it. All right? So with that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.